Hi, everybody. So I'm super sorry about the fact that I wasn't able to be there on Thursday. I had an issue come up at work that I thought I was going to be able to get out of, where a client from a very, very different time zone needed to get on a call with us. Hang on, is my screen sharing with me? Hi. Sorry, that was awkward. The client wanted to get on a call with us, and they were in South Korea, so I had to be there at about 7 o'clock for that conversation, which was great. I was originally intending to get out of that, but the person who was going to take my place on the call got very sick and was not able to do it, so I had to. Unfortunately, I had very little notification of this. I had a feeling it might happen, but I thought I covered my bases. In any case, I'm super sorry, guys. I'm also really sorry I didn't realize that when I posted the announcement, it wouldn't have my name and face next to it. Which, when I get emails from you guys, that like the Canvas notification things, that I always see whoever was posting it, and I see Reggie's announcements and stuff as well. So I definitely thought that would be the case, that you would see that it was me posting that, and I'm very sorry to those who were concerned that class was canceled. I will be sure to explicitly add my name in the future. Again, I'm super sorry about that, guys. Yeah, it was kind of just a funny, crappy day on Thursday. In any case, here's the lecture for the branding proposal project. Let me get this all presenting. Blah, blah, blah. Hang on, I'm not 100% used to using this. Got it. So, cool. So, the branding proposal project, we know we're there. So, this is for, I should have changed it. This is the promotions proposal part of the assignment of the project. So you can see we've done the theme proposal, we've done the project timeline, we've done the finalized theme. We're getting very close to the end here, guys. Now it's the promotions plan. So this is, I would say, the biggest assignment that's going to take the most time, given that I definitely cheated you of a couple of days to kind of think through and work through this. I will be more lenient on grading. If you have any issues, especially with the fact that you lost 2 days because of the issue with my other job, do feel free to talk to me if you need an extension. I'm generally pretty cool about that. So the promotions proposal is going to be your ideas for promoting the release in keeping with your finalized theme. So whatever you emailed me saying your finalized theme is, that is what you have to use for this. That's going to be more challenging for some of you than others, but I have total faith in all of you. And again, please feel free to email me and use me as a resource if you run into any roadblocks. There's a few things this must include. Specifically, there's 2 documents, basically. So your written explanation, and that's going to have to include a few things, and also some examples. And I'll show you examples of both of those in just a few moments. This has to be turned in through Canvas. Do not email me this. And it can only be, you can only give it to me in a PDF or a zip file. I will show you why in a bit, and I'll give you some more examples and explanations. And if you're struggling with zipping a file or downloading something to a PDF, let me know. I will help you out. At the very least, I can give you some good Google keywords, especially if you're working on like a Mac, which I don't use. Yeah, so I had challenges with the last assignment where I had wanted the finalized theme to be an email from you guys, and I had wanted your schedule to be uploaded to Canvas. And because some people did both through Canvas or both through email, it was hard for me to keep track of who had turned in their assignments already. So I'm not 100% caught up on grading because of that. I'm having to do a little bit of like hunting and searching for that information. If you haven't been graded on that assignment yet and you have turned something into me, shoot me an email and I will look for your stuff specifically. But because of that, because I want to be able to grade in a timely manner, please only submit this assignment through Canvas. That's going to make my life like a million times easier. And thus your life in terms of this project. This is going to be due Thursday, May 26th. That is about a week and a half from today, a little more than a week and a half. Like I said, if losing out on those 2 days is going to make this a real struggle for you, I'm sure a lot of you guys do your work on Saturdays, like I'm doing right now. Let me know and I will chat about an extension. Grading criteria is going to be completion on time, as always, cohesiveness of vision, which means So this is we're going to pretend that this promotions proposal is something that you are giving to your designer, so to your me. Basically, I am the designer for the Northwest Wine Academy. You would be giving this to me, and I need to be able to understand your mandate. I need to know what you're talking about. You need to be able to give me this document, and for me to be able to produce materials that are in keeping with what you want. So cohesiveness of vision means, did you include all of the requirements for the things that you have to point out? Am I able to understand this? And is this something that I think is like am I super confused when I read this, or do I think that, yeah, I could absolutely go off of this and produce some materials for you? I understand this is pretty subjective in terms of, like, it is very much up to me whether or not I think this is the case. Again, any questions, any concerns, please reach out to me. I'm going to try and provide you with a good example and talk you through it. And again, I have full faith that you guys will be fine on this. And then implementability is another one. Like, things we can't get a blimp in, things like that. Make sure that this is something that we can actually do. This is going to be the challenge that comes off of the finalized theme that you picked, especially. If you pick something that's going to be really hard to implement, that's going to be a challenging requirement to meet. And that's why we had those conversations regarding your theme proposals, so that you would be able to, make an informed decision about going with a theme that is going to be, possible to implement. So that might be a challenge. Again, reach out. But yeah, so this is where that kind of thinking ahead portion of your theme proposals and your finalized themes comes to fruition. So the required information that you're going to have to put in your write-up, and again, I'm going to show you an example of all of this in a minute here. Aesthetics. I'm going to need some pictures of what you're talking about in order for me to get a good idea. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to create examples for me. You just have to find them. In our conversations regarding your theme proposals, I chatted with a lot of you about, check out Stocksy or Pexels for images that we are legally able to use and regularly source from. Check out ad campaigns for this or that. Those are great resources. Look at what other people have done. Look at resources that are available to us. And that's going to give me something strong to go off of. Your aesthetic examples must include a source. I must be able to track this back to where you found it, especially if you're like, I want pictures like this. That's going to give me a hint, especially if this is actually physical. Like, if you show me a picture and you're like, I want pictures like this on the label, back to the source, I can say, okay, I can actually use this actual picture. So that's great. If I can't find the source, then that's going to leave me up in the air about where to go to find more images like that one that I can use. If I can't use that one, or give me information that I actually can use this image, in the promotions materials. I'm not actually going to be producing these materials for you, but we're gonna move forward as if I were. So I need to be able to do it, even though I'm not. There's a lot of you. I'm not going to produce materials for all of you. I need you to call out what you do for decor, food, a tagline, and promotional materials as well in that write-up. The aesthetics is going to be, I think, the hardest part. But again, I'll show you an example. As in right here. So this is my promotions plan that I put together for my examples. Remember, I'm going with the theme of journey. So I was inspired by the 11-year-long journey that the Northwest Wine Academy has traversed. Our goals are a continuation of the path we've taken. Our future is inseparable from our past. Even so, our path branches over time, and it is our decisions, intentions, and agency that determines exactly what that course takes. So a little introduction about why you chose the theme that you did is going to help me figure out, it's going to be a good guideline for your intentions for your promotions. So that's required. You need a little intro. Aesthetics, this is another requirement. Given the time of year of the release, the aesthetic should be muted, a little grayed out. Primarily, the images I've chosen are either images of the road at the viewer's feet or a map. Depending on the availability of images, either or both of these would be appropriate for both labels and promotional materials, though a mix of both would be preferable, perhaps along color lines. Text on promotional materials should be chunky sans serif fonts in white. Text on labels should be the same font as promotional materials if possible. Alternately, a serif font would be appropriate. Bottom portions of labels should follow the standard reserved, non-reserved color scheme. You don't need to get as much into like the text and the fonts if you don't want to. Mainly, I'm concerned about kind of high level, what do you want these aesthetics to look like? What are the aesthetics for this assignment? Describe to me what connects all of your examples in your mind. So I'm going to show you my examples. I actually used Pinterest to combine them, or to collect them. You don't have to use Pinterest. You can if you want. You can download a bunch of images and put them in a zip, and like package them together, put them in a zip file. I will show you how to do that on a PC. What I like about Pinterest and kind of why I used it is because when you click something, you click a picture, you can, that's not a good example because that just goes danger. Here's a great one. You click the picture and it takes you to the source. And so that means I didn't have to specifically call out the sources of my images in my document. So that's what made that very convenient to use Pinterest. So in any case, you can kind of see my examples. Here's that chunky sans serif font in white over pictures that I wanted for the promotions materials. Road at the viewer's feet. I got kind of crazy and went into like space for a few of them. A lot of these are kind of road at the viewer's feet. Images of paths. Everything's kind of grayed out. Very wintry appropriate. Kind of interested in the look of maps. The way that the paths all converge and separate. Yeah, lots of road at the viewer's feet, lots of things like that. More of that white on kind of a grayed out image, etc. It's not long. I think I have, let me see. I have 48 examples here. I have 5 followers, wow. Interesting. I would say I want a bare minimum of 20 examples. 30 would make me happy. More than 30 makes me thrilled. But you need to have at least 20. Cool. So this is my aesthetic examples. They include the sources because I can follow them. So that would give me, and it's got more than 20 images. So this is that aesthetics thing would get absolutely an A+. Decor and food. This theme journey does not lend itself particularly well to decor. Generally, I would encourage a comfortable familial atmosphere using materials we have on hand or to which we have easy access. I would encourage prominently displaying a guest book in which guests can answer the question, how did our paths converge? This can provide us with information about the length of time of the relationship of many of our guests to the Wine Academy. Likewise, this theme does not lend itself particularly well to food. I encourage choosing foods that will pair well with the wines, require no special sourcing, and are easy to produce and store. So this is a great example of what to do if you don't have an answer to something. Like I called out, my theme of journey does not lend itself well to decor or food. So I gave some guidelines that didn't relate to the theme, but that I feel would not feel inappropriate combined with the theme. So that's what you would want to do as well if your theme also doesn't lend itself well to decor or food or tagline or whatever. Just call out something general that we could do that isn't necessarily in super close alignment with your theme, but would not feel incongruous either. So tagline options, see where we're going, join our journey, be part of our journey, journey here, where we've come from, where we go, and then promotional materials. These are all of the materials that I would want my designer to produce, which is posters, register cards, website banners, social media graphics for Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, the text sheets, and the tasting notes. I would want the designer to produce something for all of those. And then, you know, it would be up to the job of whoever's implementing those to implement them. So this is the document that I'm looking for. This is what you need to have. You need to have an intro, aesthetics, examples, and along with sources, decor and food, tagline, and promotional materials. Okay? You guys got that? Cool. I know, I realize you can't say yes, but and it'd be really funny if you just did. Anyway, so let me think about this. If you, well, I'm not sure if my screen sharing is showing this. Sorry. So if you wanted to not use, if you wanted to just send me a bunch of pictures, what I would recommend downloading or saving, depending on how you do your text editing, your document as a PDF, and then putting that in a folder with all of your images, and then zipping that folder and sending it to me through Canvas, uploading that to Canvas. So that way, instead of a document plus a link, which you can also definitely do, you're sending me a folder of all of the materials together. So your write-up and your examples. So back to this. Grading criteria. Did you turn it in to me on time through Canvas in the appropriate file types with enough information for me to understand your mandate and be implementable on time? If yes, full credit. This assignment definitely has the most opportunities to knock your grade down, so bear that in mind. Did you follow some but not all of the instruction requirements above? If yes, partial credits. Again, there's a lot of pieces to this one. Feel free to email me, check in, send it to me early and say, does this meet the requirements? And I will let you, and I'll say yes or no, and we'll work it out. We'll work it out from there before the deadline. If you turn it in to me on Thursday, May 26th, and it doesn't have all of these things, and you're like, is this complete? You're not going to have enough time to turn it back into me with all of the pieces that you need. So bear that in mind as well. Did you not follow any of the requirements above? If no, no credit. That's pretty simple. Here are a list of sources that I recommend for looking for kind of your aesthetic inspiration. All of these are free or low cost stock images and images that have, and photographs and pieces of art that have been released to the public domain. Largely, some of them, Stocksy is low cost. The rest of them, I believe, are free. Beautiful, well curated, and most of the time, if not all of the time, they're released under a license that we can use, which is they're licensed under a what's it called? Available for commercial use with modification, because we do need to we do have to make modifications to the images to account for dark cast when printing. We crop them, we do all sorts of things to them. And obviously we are using them for commercial purposes because we are, especially anything that goes on the label, we're selling the bottle. Not selling the image, selling the bottle. There's some fine lines there. But generally speaking, if you go with any of these, that's going to increase your implementability very, very much. I also recommend using ad campaigns. So for Journey, there were a couple in that Pinterest folder that, let's see if I still have that up. I don't have that up. Let me get that back up. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. What's happening here? Oh, here we go. So these guys were all, this is from visitarizona.com. These are ad campaigns for traveling. So I googled ad, or I googled, travel ad campaign, and I found some things that fit what I was looking for. A good way to Google in a way that is, if you wanted to use Google to find example images, this is a great thing to do as well. I'm sure a lot of you guys know about this. Oh, I'm gonna get the band, aren't I? Cool, definitely got the band. So you can go to search tools and then usage rights and do labeled for reuse with modification. And this is going to bring, yeah, I got the band, so that's great. And a bunch of other really cool things that I like. So this is going to provide you with images that we actually are legally allowed to use, which is pretty cool. So that's another option when you're searching out your example materials. So again, how to contact me. This is pretty familiar at this point. I did take off my website because I'm having a problem with them right now, and it's down at the moment. But generally speaking, the rest is the same. Email, Canvas, in person, etc. Let me know. I haven't done this with you guys before where I do the video lecture. Let me know if this is working out. Please, I'm expecting you to have a ton of questions. I'm sure because I'm not here to answer your questions and see you in person that I'm failing to cover something. I will be there next Thursday, 100%. I'm not lecturing, but I wanted to be there to answer your questions, especially given the limitations of this format. Please reach out with any and all questions you have. No question is stupid. There are absolutely limitations to this form of communication, and I want to be sure that you have as good of an understanding of this as possible. Again, I will be grading this more gently than if I had been able to be there in person. That said, I do expect you to do your due diligence and try your hardest despite that. The best way to get lenience from me in grading is to reach out and say you're having an issue. Otherwise, if I don't know that you're having a problem getting this assignment together, then I don't know that I need to cut you a bit of slack, basically. So other than that, I hope you guys are having a great day. And again, please feel free to reach out. Like, I seriously encourage you to reach out with any questions. And I will speak to you very soon. Bye-bye.